Praise the Lord! Today we're jumping into a chapter in Genesis that honestly has a bit of a split personality. It kicks off with this epic story about all of humanity, our ambition, our unity, and then our great scattering. But then it suddenly zooms way in, from that huge global scale to the really intimate story of just one family, which sets the stage for pretty much everything that comes next.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. Imagine a world with one universal language. It'd be like having a single, seamless internet for all of humanity, right? Collaboration would be instant, big ideas could spread like wildfire, and you could coordinate massive projects without anything getting lost in translation. Well, that's the world where our story begins.
So the story opens up in a world that's basically been rebooted after the Great Flood. Humanity is essentially one big community, all living together. And the glue holding them all together? A single, shared language.
And you gotta understand, this shared language is the engine of the whole story. It means everyone is on the same page, literally. And this lets them think, plan, and organize on a massive scale, which leads them to launch this incredibly ambitious project.
So with all this powerful unity, the people all migrate together, heading east, and they settle down on a plain in a land called Shinar. And when they get there, they decide they're not just going to survive. No, they're going to build something that will last forever.
Now, don't think this was some primitive effort. This was a showcase of early technology. They weren't just stacking random rocks. They were firing bricks to make them super durable and using tar as a waterproof mortar. I mean, this was a sophisticated, huge project that would have acquired some incredible teamwork.
This quote right here tells you everything you need to know about their motivations. There are two big ones. First, to make a name for ourselves. This is all about legacy, about human glory, about building a civilization centered on their own achievements. And second, and not be scattered. They are actively fighting against the idea of spreading out across the world. They want to keep all their power in one place.
So this monumental effort, this attempt to centralize all of humanity and literally reach for the heavens, well, it does not go unnoticed. The story is about to take a really dramatic turn because this project gets some divine attention.
As the tower climbs higher and higher, it really starts to represent the peak of human achievement. The people are building a monument to their own power. But the central question becomes, how is this incredible ambition going to be perceived by the very heavens they're trying to reach?
And right here, we get to the crucial point. See, the concern isn't about the physical height of some brick tower, it's about the limitless potential of a perfectly unified humanity. The text is basically saying that with this level of collaboration, there would be no ceiling to what humans could do, which raises the pretty scary question of whether that kind of unchecked power could lead to tyranny.
So the divine response is profound. It's not a flood, it's not a fire. Instead, the very tool of their unity, their language, is turned into the source of their division. All of a sudden, the architect can't speak to the bricklayer. Teamwork completely collapses. The project is abandoned, and their biggest fear comes true. They are scattered across the face of the earth.
And that's exactly how the place gets its name. The city of Babel becomes this permanent symbol for that moment of confusion. The name itself is basically an origin story for why we have so many different languages all over the world today.
Okay, and right here, the chapter does something totally wild. It makes one of the most abrupt shifts in the entire book. It's like the camera was on this super wide-angle lens showing all of humanity, and then, bam, it snaps into a tight zoom on just one single family line, from the story of everyone to the story of someone.
So, right after explaining how all of humanity got scattered, the narrative immediately pivots. It starts tracing one specific family line, carving a single path forward out of all that chaos.
The text lays out this genealogy, which can sometimes feel like just a long list of names, you know? But it's not. It's really a map through time. It follows the line all the way from Noah's son Shem down through several generations, leading us directly to a man named Terah. This isn't random. It's a narrative path pointing us to the next major player in the story.
And once we get to Terah, the genealogy hits the brakes and turns back into a story. We've basically arrived at the doorstep of the family that's about to take center stage.
Okay, so let's meet the key players. Terah has 3 sons, Abram, Nahor, and Haran. We also get introduced to Abram's wife, Sarai, and his nephew, Lot. These are the names that are going to drive the whole next phase of the narrative.
Now, the text deliberately includes a few key details here, and trust me, these aren't just random facts. They are major plot points being set up for the future. Specifically, that little detail that Sarai was barren, that establishes a huge central conflict that's going to drive the story for chapters and chapters to come.
We also learn about their family road trip. The whole group, led by Terah, leaves their home in and their destination is Canaan. But they don't quite make it. They stop partway and settle down in a place called Haran. It's a journey started, but not yet finished.
So, let's pull back for a second. This one chapter gives us two massive origin stories. First, it gives us an explanation for the diversity of languages and nations all over the globe. And second, it gives us the direct family origin of Abraham, the man who will become Abraham.
And that leaves us with a final, really fascinating question. What's the connection here? Why does a story about humanity's big, unified project failing and causing division lead directly into the story of one man and his childless wife? It's almost like the text is saying, after the failure of a united humanity trying to save itself, the new plan is going to start small, with just one family. Thanks for joining us. If you found this valuable, please like, share, and subscribe.